Hello, my name is Manny Correa. We're going to talk on this video about virtualization and the software that we use to set up a desktop virtualization called Virtualbox. To start with, you go to the virtualbox.org website and then you click on the downloads link on the left, and then if you're running on a Windows machine, we want to click the Windows host, and then you'd save the file. Depending on your internet speed, it'll come down fairly quickly for most people, and then you would double click the file that you have downloaded in your downloads folder. I've already installed and upgraded my VirtualBox, so I'm not going to do this. Just keep all the default settings and just click next, 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 and it'll ask you, do you really want to install it? And you just click accept, and then what will happen when you're done is you'll have an icon similar to this, and you double click on the icon and it runs. And before we get going, these are all virtual machines that I have installed. I'm going to go delete them because I don't need these anymore. Actually, I'm going to keep that one. That's a work one. So if I right click on it, I can remove, and it's going to ask me to remove all the files. I'm going to delete all the files. These are all my older ones that I don't need. So I'm going to delete all the files off the computer. If you choose, when you're setting up yours on your machine, you need to be careful of how many you actually use on your machine, because it takes up resources. The two main resources that you have to worry about are storage and RAM. With RAM, you probably want to have at least 16 gigabytes of RAM on your PC. Whether it's a laptop or a desktop, it really doesn't matter. This is so to have a virtual machine that runs fairly well. You want to make sure that you don't have hang-ups or choking, or your desktop PC is choking on the amount of RAM you're giving to the virtual machines. Your host operating system, like mine is Windows 10, is required to give up the amount of RAM that you're going to use on your virtual machine. It only takes that RAM when you power it on. The other thing that you need to worry about is the storage that you're going to take up from your host machine. The host machine, you should have lots of storage in your machine. I'm going to show you how to find out your resources right now on a Windows 10 machine. If you start your Windows File Manager, you right click on your C drive and you click Properties. You should see how much storage you have on your machine. So I have a 500 gig hard drive and I have approximately 342 gig left, so I have plenty. We're only going to give our virtual machine about 20 gig, 25 gig tops. So 20 gig should be fine for us. The other thing we need to worry about is RAM. So you click the Start, click Settings, and then you go to System, and you go About. And this will tell you how much RAM you have in your system. I have 32, but I went out and bought some more RAM. RAM is fairly cheap and somewhat easy to put in a regular PC. Laptops are a little bit harder to put in, but can be done in most cases. Not all laptops are upgradable. I would do a little research on yours if you have a laptop to see if you can upgrade your RAM. You're looking at maybe $20, $30 to upgrade. I'm not positive. Everyone's a little different depending on the model you have, but you should have at least 16 gigs. So when we're running a virtual machine, you can have 8 gig for your host, which Windows 10 usually wants to run between 6 and 8 gig, and then you can give 8 gig to your guest operating system, such as Ubuntu Linux, which is what we're going to run. So that's how you find your resources. You should have 16 gig and for RAM and 20 gigabytes of storage, and that's all for the installation video. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.